Hey guys, it is Wednesday morning, the day before Thanksgiving. About what time is it, Rusty? It's 8:03 a.m. 44 degrees, and the wind's out of the northwest. So I'm not going walking at home. I'm going to go to either Walmart or Lowe's, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to touch on is a few things. One is a lady left a comment about she's starting to live in a van that she built a nest in, I guess you'd say, and or she did a van build, and now she's going to hit the road. Well, I have to tell you, good luck with that. Reason is, you know, it's one thing to plan something, you know, and you get all this built up in your mind, this illusion of freedom, and well, living cheap is a fact. You know, the freedom of the road is kind of a semi-illusion in that, you know, a lot of places are crowded, and some places there's insects and so forth. So, you know, it's got its pluses and minuses, because I've done a lot of it. A full-time RV, or lived in an RV for 30 years, and traveled, towed an RV for 25 years, about 20 plus years, long time travel trailer. I'm 72. Most of y'all know that. Some of the, yes, make 2/3 of the views are new viewers, 2/3. So I have to kind of explain myself, because a lot of people don't know who I am, unbelievably. But going on the road and living in a van or a car, for the first time is going to take some getting used to, I guarantee you that. Because I did it in a Toyota Prius for off and on for 5 years. And you know, so I think the longest period I was gone was like 5 weeks at one time, and then I'd come back home and then wait a month or two and then go again. So I say home, I've got a home base with an RV under an aluminum cover and a deck on some property in Central Texas. That's where I am now. This is Park Road 4 in Central Texas, northwest of Austin, about, I don't know, 60 or 70 miles approximately. And nice climate year round. But anyway, you know, planning to live a different lifestyle, that is, say, full-time RVing, or living in a car, or living in a van, or whatever you choose, fixed up U-Haul or whatever. There's many different ways to accomplish it, and the one thing they all have in common is it is less expensive than renting an apartment or living in a sticks and bricks home, for sure. And even if you stayed in an RV park, it'd be cheaper than living in an apartment or a home. But if you went boondocking and found a lot of free camping, you know, you're really ahead of the game. The only thing only big expense you have, of course, and I've talked about it before, is fuel. But it is quite an adjustment. I mean, you know, you got to poop, pee, shower. Those are the 3 things you got to do every day, because you want to keep your hygiene up. You don't want to develop any, well, for me now, it wouldn't make any difference. I've got so many different types of skin issues that another rash wouldn't even be noticed. But that's old-timers disease there. That's not young things. You know, if you're, you know, 30, 40, 50 years old, when you get into your 60s, you start to hit some bumps in the road, you know, some health issues. They're not bad. You know, mainly, for me, it's just been skin. I go to a dermatologist once or twice a year, and right now I've got some minor things. There's nothing you can do, but there's no cure, and no one knows what causes it, so there's no said about that. But, you know, cruising along in a van, you know, I can see, you know, in my mind, see, I looked at vans. I looked at the high box vans. I looked at the little Nissan vans, you know, and I was thinking about doing a build out, but, you know, I did want to live in it full-time year-round, and I know from living in the Prius and going camping in my pickup, with the camper top on it, that for me at my age it was getting a little difficult to crawl around in the pickup, for one, and two, the Prius was, you know, a little low to the ground, and there was really just no space in the Prius. I mean, but it was okay. It was very economical, that's for sure, and easy to get around. You could pull in somewhere, and if you didn't like it, you just punch that little blue button, the starter button, and away you go. So, yeah, there was a lot of freedom of the road there, and so I understand the draw, what's pulling you there is, you know, seeing yourself on some mountaintop with a beautiful 360-degree view, and no insects, and no loud music, and nobody threatening your life, and all that kind of stuff. And there, you know, there's a lot of good places out there. Most of the people that are RVing or boondocking and stuff, I say most, there's always a few bad apples. Most of them are really good people, and they'd probably help you if you had a problem. But, you know, it's, again, my recommendation for anybody that's looking to do that is, you know, if you can, test it first. You know, test your hypothesis, so to speak. You know, take a few days or a week or two and go out on the road and see what you think. Because, you know, once you've pooped in a bucket and peed in a can and taken a shower with a wash rag for a few days, you know, you may decide that that apartment ain't all that bad. But that's different choices. You know, it is an adventure, and you know, I'm a big advocate of, you know, variety is the spice of life. You know, doing different things, you know, it adds a little flavor to your life. I actually think it extends your life. That's just my own thinking. There's certainly no scientific proof. It could probably shorten your life if you have an accident while you're doing this, quote, adventure. But I do enjoy it. I try to enjoy my life best I can, like everybody else. Everybody's different. Again, we are in Central Texas, new guys. This is Park Road 4. Again, we're headed to 281 over to Marble Falls, Texas, a little bitty town. About 6,000 people. I'm going to go do my walking at Walmart and Lowe's. I mentioned that. But it is a nice day. And of course, for you guys that are going out on the road, you know, that are, you know, still in the working mode, if you can make a living out there on the road, it's a good way to go. But if you turn the clock forward, let's just say you're 40 now, and then turn the clock forward to age 60, you know, are you still going to be doing that? I mean, how are you going to provide for your retirement? I mean, you know, because you have to pay into Social Security a certain number of quarters to be able to draw it at age 60. Well, I think they're moving that up, but right now it's age 62. And, you know, and then the next question is you know, can you live on what you're going to get in retirement or Social Security? And you know, they're looking at every way in the world to cut those benefits, to reduce them. So I don't know how that's going to play out for you. But you know, don't be paranoid about retiring in the future, but just be aware that that train's coming, and you're going to have to get on board at some point and live out the rest of your life. I think about mine. See, I'm 72, and I'm thinking about, well, you know what, when I'm 82, 92, you know, where do I see myself, and how do I want to live? And what happens is that the things you don't plan on are the ones that get you. You know, for example, you know, you're planning on doing a certain thing at a certain time, and everything looks good, and boom, you come up with some kind of health issue that was totally not in the equation. And that happens, particularly when you get older, because, you know, like the skin issues I have, they're not bad. I mean, they itch every now and then, big deal. That doesn't really cause me a problem. They don't itch that much. They look like crap, some of it. But do I care about that? Not really. I'm certainly not putting on a fashion show here. I'm certainly not a male model, for sure. If I was, it'd be for ugly. But yeah, planning ahead for, you know, future events. You know, if you're going to do this alternative lifestyle, I call it alternative. It's different. It's certainly different from, you know, living in a neighborhood or in a gated community or a high-rise apartment in a big city. Yeah, and you know, and see, I make the assumption that everybody knows a lot about wildlife and insects and all that, because I grew up in South Texas on a farm, and we were exposed to the outdoors all the time. And of course, there's, you know, almost 2/3 of the population of the U.S. lives in cities, and a lot of the people have never been outdoors or camped out, or, you know, been exposed to wildlife. They don't know how to respond to wildlife in the wild. And you know, those are things I do naturally and instinctively. But so there's some things to learn. It's fun. You know, learning is fun. It can be a little difficult, but it can still be fun. You know, you learn how to read. So most of you anyway. But what would I recommend? I would just recommend doing whatever the hell you want to do. You know, if you feel like you've got it in you, and you got the desire and the wherewithal to accomplish the task, well, go for it. You know, do a van. I think a van build is a great way to go. I mean, it really is. You get the, you know, high box where you can kind of stand up and move around, or get one. You know, if you're 5'5", you don't have any problem. I'm 6'2", so, you know, I don't like to be bent over all the time. And in fact, when I was looking at the smaller RVs like the Scamp and the Casita, that was one of the reasons I didn't go with those, was because I could not stand up fully erect. I mean, I couldn't stand up straight because I'd touch my head on the roof. And but anyway, so I've got an RV now, a new one, that's plenty of headroom, and I can tow it with my truck. So that's going to be my thing for several years, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Things change. I change, as you know, a lot. Why? Because that's just the way I am. But here we are, guys, the day before Thanksgiving 2017, and a lot of people are probably going to make some New Year's resolutions coming up pretty soon. And you know, people are changing all the time, and that's why there's so many divorces. You know, is because we don't stay the same all the time. You know, you marry somebody, and at that time, you got along great. But as the years pass, and I've been through it several times, years pass, and you don't get along anymore. You've both changed. You both have different goals and aspirations, and you know, some cases you just flat get tired of each other. You know, you want to see somebody new, or just get out and do something. But doing a van build and hitting the road ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. And you know, of course, there's groups out there like old Bob, what's his name, on the cheap RV living deal. He's got a group that follow him like gypsies. You know, wherever he is, there's a group of people. I know he probably gets tired of it, but you know, it gives them safety and security, because you know, when you're traveling in groups, you know, you got somebody to talk to. It's like a little town just moving around. Would I want to do that? No. I grew up in a small town. I know what that is. Gossip, gossip, gossip. People team up on one another. You know, your bigger cities, you know, they think that's miserable because they can't get close to anybody. Well, I got to tell you, small town life is just as bad, because you get too close to them, and they drive you nuts. Coming close to Marble Falls, Texas, guys. This is just a morning drive the day before Thanksgiving. One of my viral videos. Yeah, my view count is stabilized. I get about, it varies. I get about 1,000 views per video. Not many more. We got about 10% of the subscribers are active. I've got about 9,500 subscribers, and about 900 of them, or 1,000, watch my corny videos every day, and I don't blame them. Hell, would I watch them every day? I do, because it's my video. But I mean, I follow some people that are pretty, well, they're pretty low on the YouTube scale for sure, as far as views and stuff and subscribers. I mean, there's one guy I watch. I haven't watched him in a while. His name is Hobo Traveler, I think is his name. And he travels all over the world, but he's getting older now, and he kind of lost me. He started getting off on a lot of philosophical stuff, but, and maybe I do that too. I don't know. he's got a hard channel to keep up with, because he started off traveling the world. He's been doing it for 20 plus years, and you know, he's traveling for less than $1,000 a month. You know, he carries his pack and all that. That ain't easy, guys. You may think that's easy, but it ain't. You know, and he's in different locations all the time, different countries, speaking different. He speaks French, Spanish, and English, so he gets along pretty good. But it ain't easy, because he stays in hostels and low rent places, and you know, he's been beat up a couple of times, so it ain't easy. But out there on the road, for you guys that are going to do the van stuff, good luck and all that. Going to the RTR in January, some of you, I'm sure. That's where you can learn all about it. I promise you, that's a hell of an event. They cover just about everything you need to know related to living cheap on the road and anything you want to live in. Anyway, I'll end the video up here at Wally World, Walmart. I'll tell you what the price of gasoline is too. And we'll see if there's any snowbirds here. Winter Texans, the gasoline is $2.17.9. And there are a few snowbirds here, not many. They park at Walmart for free. There's one there, one there, one there. I guess I'd say there's 5 motorhomes. Yeah, they got a $500,000 motorhome, and they pull in here and camp for free at Walmart. That's some cheap bastard. Oh, anyway, guys, from Central Texas, USA, go boondocking if you want to. It's a good way to live. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye bye, bye USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. What else? 3 quarts a day or 4 quarts won't hurt you. Take deep breaths, keep your health and all that stuff. Enjoy your life. Variety is the spice of life, guys. Adios.